Miami University senior Jake Westfall considers himself lucky. Westfall will graduate in May with a degree, departmental honors, and 4 internship experiences. However, Westfall will also graduate with more than $48,000 in student debt.
When I was actually looking for colleges, one important thing was the tuition, how much I had to spend when I was attending. And the reason why is because I actually finance 100% of my tuition and college expenses.
More than 40% of Miami undergraduates receive need-based aid, although the university has met less than 60% of students' demonstrated need over the past 5 years.
It is for 99.9% of the institutions across the country, meeting need is just not commonplace and is not something that I think we'll see happen anytime soon.
Miami student borrowing has increased nearly 55% over the last 10 years, compared to just 18% nationally for 4-year public colleges and universities. This according to College Board data.
At the end of the day, while we know students are really focused on their ability to afford the education today, the reality is once they leave Miami, they'll recognize that the quality of the experience was really what will have the impact on their life.
Rising student debt levels have impacted students like Westfall.
It has changed my experience while at school, that my classes are more important to me. What I do, what I make, what I spend, what I look at, what I consider important or significant, all matter because I know that I paid every step of the way to be here.
Others, like senior Anna Humanek, say student debt affects the Miami experience.
It puts like this damper on Miami because it should be a really good time and a really great experience, but you constantly have like this nagging stress of knowing that you're going into debt.
Schock says rising student debt levels can be attributed to 2 factors.
I think it's the financial economic climate, and I think it's the expanded borrowing that the federal government has permitted, and I think it's more of the former versus the latter. I really think it's the economy.
As higher education becomes more expensive, though, Westfall says it all boils down to the quality of education students receive.
I would say primarily I really worried about the quality of institution I was going to, and then figure that no matter any way possible, to find a way to finance it.
J.M. Rieger, Oxford Week in Review.
Jam, thanks for joining us. What has driven the rising student debt? The rising student debt level nationally and at Miami?
Well, you heard Brent Schock, the director of the Office of Student Financial Assistance, in that piece, say that 2 main factors are really driving this student debt level crisis in the United States. First off, the economic downturn spurred by the 2008-2009 financial crisis. And on top of that, the government has increased the number of loans that they are giving out to students. However, there's also an underlying story here, which is the rising room and board and tuition costs that students are facing at colleges across the nation. At Miami alone, tuition has increased 85% for in-state students over the last 10 years, 25% more than the national average for 4-year public colleges and universities, this according to College Board data.
All right, and Jim, how does Miami help students afford college?
Sure. Well, you heard Schock in that piece. He really encourages all students to fill out the FAFSA form, which determines which students are eligible for need aid. On average, about 60% of Miami students fill out the FAFSA form every year. On top of that, his office works with students to determine how much money is appropriate for them to take out based on their need and their family situations. However, Miami is doing better than the national trend in one category, which is student loan default rates. It's increased nationally, but at Miami, less than 1% of Oxford campus graduates default on their student loans every year.